Hello and welcome to another episode of the Meaningful Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Chantal Gerardy, and today I've got Andrew Small here, who is the host of the Over 40s dating podcast, Real and Unfiltered. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you.
It is super excited to have him here today because you guys are all going to hear something a little bit different, and that is two South Africans talking. Because both of us happen to be from Durban, my hometown in South Africa.
Woohoo.
So you're getting extra bonus today. It is awesome to have you here today. And today we're going to be talking about how online dating is an absolute effing nightmare. All right. For me,
Yep.
so time wasting, soul sapping, exhausting, just mind numbingly absolute nightmare. So why on earth have you decided that even though you have a job, which we'll talk about just now, South African, just now,
Yep.
why you have decided to put together this podcast?
Well, I've been dating for the last 4 years, and look, it's been a nightmare. I've met some nice people through it, heard some awesome stories, heard some tragic stories, some real bad ones. And I just thought, why not just bring, something that's fun, relatable, out there, resourceful, and help people, give them some hope, I suppose. Yeah.
Hope, guidelines,
Yep.
warnings.
That's it.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about like your own personal story, like little boy Andrew Small.
So I've been in Australia 38 years, spent 27 in Sydney, 10 on the Gold Coast, and I separated 5 years ago, got 3 amazing kids, and divorced 4 years ago, and also did the whole separation thing, 50-50 custody. That worked well for us. Kids are growing up really well as well. They're resilient in themselves, and for me, it's just just out there doing my thing. I'm successful in my own right. I've got a good life, good lifestyle. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, excellent. That's so good to hear. So with regards to like jumping on the online dating apps when you first got divorced, like what was your intention? Did you have this like feeling that you were going to jump on the apps, you were going to meet all these hot women, you'd be dating all these hot women and have all these amazing dinners out, and you'd find the one and you'd live happily ever after? Was that your like overall intention when you started on the apps?
The intention was to find someone, right? It was a freaking nightmare. So the first woman I actually dated, I went on a date with, was a widow, and her ex-husband was from South Africa, from Durban as well. And she was on the scene for about, I think, 4 or 5 years. And we got on really, really well, still good friends today. So to answer your question, it was very scary at first because I'd never been on a dating app. I was in a 15-year marriage, and it was a whole new thing for me. I developed a new name called Andy, and I just thought maybe that'll hide me in case someone sees me. But, the rest, you just become used to it, and you put yourself out there. Yep.
So what were some of the learnings when you set up your app initially? Like when you set up your app, what were some of your thoughts and some of the pictures that you put up? Was it like the picture of you holding a fish?
No. I don't fish, luckily. I believe women don't like those fish pics. So I just put photos that were me. Nice, clean, probably one at the gym. I'm very active. I've got a very active lifestyle. So there was a cycling photo, one playing golf. I just put something that people could see the real personality in me, I suppose. Yeah.
And so being on the apps then and looking at pictures of women on the apps, were you excited by all the amazing photos and women that came up on your feed? Because for me, I often, when I've got a male who's on the apps, I'm like, quick, show me your feed. I want to see like what my competition is. Like competition, like in doing a competitor's analysis is super important. And I'm like, show me your app. I want to see what's on there. And when I looked at this, I went, oh my gosh, like this is how my profile looks compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
It was significantly different. So what are some of your thoughts on the ladies' profiles that you saw?
Well, I initially thought that a lot of women didn't look like their pics. There were a lot of filtered photos. But you get used to it. And I just found it. You had to sort of go through these dates and filter them out, and yeah. So, but the attention was great in the beginning. I think when I joined Tinder, it was just overwhelming. Like I was just so anxious. I was like, wow, because they got algorithms in there that basically feed you all these women, and they're all messaging you, and you're just going, shit. You love the attention, and that's how you get sucked into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I suppose it's a case of you've got to qualify and disqualify the right people, right?
that's
So
right.
so
Yep.
how would you go about then qualifying and disqualifying the right people on the apps?
Well,
Some of
age
your
groups.
methods.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'd never date anyone under 45. I'm 54. And I wouldn't date anyone probably over 57. There are some people that really look after themselves out there. Very few, I'd say. But I just look at, the interest, whether they're active or not. I don't expect a gym junkie, but I just want to meet someone that you can sort of see yourself with them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think it comes down to effective communication, and with these online apps, we are looking at effective communication through visuals, images, as well as effective communication
Mm.
through the way that they actually communicate the setup of their profile, but then also how they communicate with you. And really, I think communication is so important right now because if you're a poor communicator, and you don't actually know how to express yourself and don't understand who you are and what your fundamental values are, you're going to find it very hard to connect with someone, right?
Well, I did have that difficulty because I'm not a texter. Look, I tell people straight up, if you're going to be texting me for days, you're not going to get the real me because I can't sit there with one finger trying to type this and that. And yeah, I just go yes, no, whatever. And some women don't like it. They make that choice to cut ties because they don't know the real me. So I encourage people to try, hey, let's have a phone conversation, see if we vibe and take it from there. And you can tell a lot when you speak to someone on the phone. You can go, wow, this person sounds really nice. They look really nice. Let's take the next step. So,
Yeah, I think for me, when online dating, I was exactly the same. I was like, text for a bit and then
yep,
get them onto the phone call as soon as possible,
yeah,
so I don't waste any more of my time and my energy. And then
agree.
from getting them onto the phone, it was like then meeting up with them, and I kind of thought I had it all figured out. I thought like when I was on the phone and they talked to me, I'd go, they sound great, and I'd one time I spoke to a guy for about a whole week, every single day for about an hour or two. I was like,
Yep,
can't wait to meet this guy. That's it. Like, sounds
yeah,
amazing. Seemed like ticked all the boxes. Met them in person, and from the time I met them, I just went, nah,
dangerous,
just
definitely.
this is
Yep.
just not on. So I kind of thought I had a theory there for a while, but I
Mm.
but I proved my theory to not be not be correct.
Yeah, look, I've been there as well, and that's why I try to say to people, just text, phone call, and meet up as soon as you can. Because if you're going to be talking for days, I think emotions also grow, on the phone as well. And I think you disappoint yourself if that person's not who you think they might be in person. That energy might not be there.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's definitely a coffee first.
Yep. Yep. 100, totally agree. Yep. Yep.
Coffee or an activity. I want to see how they
Yep.
function at axe throwing. Awesome. So you've decided now to do this over 40s dating podcast, mostly because you said that you wanted that people actually wanted to tell their stories, their dating stories, and it was in the hopes of motivating, inspiring. People who are online dating by hearing what's going on and just having those real and unfiltered
Yep.
conversations. So you mentioned that you've heard some really common things that happen in the online dating space. Let's talk me through some of those things.
Well, catfishing. I think everyone knows catfishing, right? You look at these photos and some of them are filtered, some of them are with AI now.
Yeah.
It's more dangerous, I suppose. And you build up this thing in your head, oh my God, is that what she looks like? And then you get there and it's just a totally different person. And all the phone cameras these days as well got this things built into it. And you can actually sit next to someone, take a photo, and you look amazing. And then you look next to them and you're like, go, that's not you. So, yeah. So catfishing is one. Ghosting, I've heard of, a lot of people. Well, it is difficult. And I think now ghosting's become acceptable in society because
Yeah.
no one wants to let anyone down. And I think the other one is people being stood up. and it's still happening up till today. Like, I don't know why guys do that to women. Just have, the respect to say, oh, look, let's have a quick coffee, or it's not going to work out, and walk away. But to actually, for someone to make an effort to turn up for a date and not turn up, I think that's the most horrible thing you can do.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Yep.
not cool at all. And I think it is. I think we live in a world right now, like an instant world. And I think we live in a world that with social media, it's so easy just to block people or just to ghost people
Yep.
that you don't have to have those difficult conversations. So you can simply just, stop talking to someone. If you
Yep.
start to get the ick, right?
Yes. Yes.
You just stop talking to them. That's it. Rather than being polite and being honest and upfront about,
Yeah.
how that is, which is a bit sad.
It is. Look, I'm guilty of it as well. I try not to do it, but sometimes it does get out of hand, and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, be the change you want to see. But no, I completely get that, especially if somebody is, presenting one persona.
Yep.
Presenting one persona and then suddenly demonstrating another persona. That makes it exceptionally hard, where I think people can also just put on this persona and put on this how they wish to be perceived or how they want to be perceived, but really when it comes down to the deep and meaningful, they're not like that at all.
Yep.
And I think love bombing is one of that for me that I would see,
Yeah.
especially with
Yep.
some of my friends as well, is where a warning sign would just be a guy is just absolutely fully onto you, into you, and whatever, and you're just going, this is not this is not
Yeah.
an emotionally intelligent person. Something
Yep.
here is not right. I know I'm good looking and I'm amazing and I deserve this, but this is way too fast, too soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I did get caught in love bombing in the early years. Definitely, it's so easy if you do like someone, and you feel, wow, this person could be my person. It's so easy to get sucked into it. 100%. Yeah.
Sucked in. So you've spoken about your podcast, and what are some of the episodes or the conversations or the type of people or guests that you may have in your podcast?
So we're planning to have psychologists, dating consultants, dating coaches, people who help people with their lifestyle. Doctors, but also just everyday people that'll come in there and give some value, I think, about their stories, which I think most of the viewers will find relatable, that they'll go, oh, wow, I've been through that. And I think giving the male and the female perception as well could get a good story out there, definitely.
Yeah, excellent. Awesome. So a whole bunch of guests sharing their story, but
Yep.
at the end of the day, this is a passion project for you. And I love people having passion projects, and I love purpose-led people doing, purposeful things. But at the end of the day, it has to make you money. So my question is, how's it going to make you money?
Well, subscribers, affiliate links, and sponsors. It's such a niche market that we know we will attract the sponsors. There's a lot of sponsors that are struggling out there, I believe, with speed dating, Facebook events. So I think this will be a great market for them. If we get, quite a great viewership, they can actually come in advertising a direct market.
So since you mentioned single events, talk to me a little bit about your experience with single events.
Ooh, yeah. I've been to quite a few. I've been speed dating, I've been to dinners, and I've been to the Facebook group events, and I think they're all pretty much the same. I mean, you go to speed dating and you're expecting, okay, there's going to be at least a few women, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. So you got to turn up. More importantly, I think, and like I said, I've met some great friends through it, and yeah, but they're pretty much the same. I think a little bit like dating apps as well, where I don't know, the right people aren't turning up. I don't know if they've been disappointed at a previous event. I don't know what it is, but it's just, I've been there, I've done that, yeah.
Well, I'm going to share one of my tips for dating and getting off the dating apps. And that was, I decided to just join meetup groups.
Yep.
And it was like, I'm into cycling, I'm into hiking, I've got a camper van. So I joined a solo camping group, and I just joined all these different groups and met amazing people, because I felt like I was putting myself in the right place where those people who had similar interests to me already were. And I found that was easier for me. So that's my tip for everyone out there.
Good.
So what happens now? You launch this podcast. You've got all these guests coming on. You've got sponsorships. You've got affiliates, and you experimenting online so that you can get good old feedback for the audience. And now suddenly you meet your dream person. How are you going to navigate that?
Well, look, just be honest with her, whoever she is, whoever could be. And the thing for me is, look, I'm passionate about it. It's not so much, it's got to be the life I'm living, it's also the life I've led. And it's a journey. It's been a journey for me. There's millions that have done it, there's millions that are doing it, and there's millions that will still have to go through it. So I think if I can provide a podcast that's great value, like I said, relatable experiences, and give people hope, that's the aim of it.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm.
what a
Yep.
great way to put that.
Yep.
And I think, if you get the right person in your relationship anyway, they're going to be so supportive of whatever it is
I
that you're
agree.
doing anyway.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it's so good. Awesome. So as we come to the end of this podcast, because it's the Meaningful Marketing Podcast, what tips do you think that you could give our audience right now that if they were going to have a meaningful experience in online dating, based on your experience and all the people that you've dated and spoken to, and the shitty events, shitty dates you've had, and the people you've had to run away from, tell me, what are some meaningful ways or meaningful tips that you can give those people right now that are online dating?
Well, the one thing I'll start off with is on the market, in the market, enjoy the moment. So what it means is on the market, meaning you're emotionally and physically available. In the market is basically getting out there, going to events, meeting new people. It might not even be a singles group. You could just go and learn how to kayak or do a tour, something like that. And enjoy the moment is don't have an expectation, but more importantly, so even if you're going for a coffee, a lot of us get it in our head, is this going to be the person? What's she going to be like? Is she going to look like her pictures? Are we going to get on? Is there going to be energy? Just don't have an expectation, but go there, enjoy the coffee. You're getting out of the house, you're going to a new coffee shop, and you'll find that, it'll be a great experience because I've been through it. Like at one stage, I was doing I think 20 to 30 coffees a month, and it was costing me a lot of money, when I pay $10 each. And I think I spent like $300, and I said, this is not right because none of those coffee dates made it to the second date. And that's where I learned from my psychologist of on the market, in the market, enjoy the moment. And you'll just find you'll have a different perception of life. You'll meet greater people. But I think, you got to also just, I suppose, narrow the field down. I suppose for me, I was just like, okay, she looks nice. I'll go out with her. She might be my person. I don't know. So my tip is just enjoy the moment. You don't know who you're going to meet, where you're going to meet them. Don't build up this expectation in your head. Just go with it, run with it, and you'll meet some amazing people out there. And I think you will meet the one eventually.
So how can people connect with you and find your podcast?
So we're on Insta, Facebook, TikTok, all the social media channels. There's a YouTube channel as well. I think that's been worked on at the moment. And there'll be a website as well, which will be up and running by next week. So it's everywhere online. You could find us through Over 40's dating podcast, Real and Unfiltered.
Excellent.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Andrew, and we wish you the greatest success with your new podcast. This is Chantal Gerardy from the Meaningful Marketing Podcast, and I look forward to seeing you in our next show.